Here we presents the top 5 best projector for gaming. Starting at number 5, ViewSonic PX727 HD. I'll start with dark shadow detail. No real issues. Look into the dark woods on the right, or the bushes behind the tracks on the right side, and there's plenty of detail. That said, the tracks and other details don't stand out as much on this ViewSonic as on, say, the HT2550, or some others before the usual brightness adjustment, but once that simple task is done, the ViewSonic does very well, and the detail itself seems to be all there. On the scene of Rue and Katniss sleeping in the Hunger Games, look for details in the large dark area around the bottom center. The ViewSonic gets a boost in having the darkest details be fairly visible, in part due to projectors without really dark blacks, light and everything included the darkest details, which in turn makes them easier to spot. Of course, there are other great dark images here for your consideration. The City of a Thousand Planets dark photo may end up being a new photo for comparisons, one that is 4K with HDR, since 4K with HDR behaves rather differently than all our good old 1080p content which all lacks HDR. Black levels are a disappointment, as they have been on every single chip DLP 4K UHD projector we've reviewed. That bank is definitely step up from entry level near entry level, where this ViewSonic lives comparable to its similarly priced and slightly more expensive DLP competitors. For more information and price, check out the product links in description. At number 4, Sony VPL-HW45S. The VPL-HW45ES is the successor to a classic Full HD projector, the VPL-HW40S. That's a formidable heritage, but Sony has had 2 years to come up with ways to improve on it. The result, it's really good. Your movies will look great, but low input latency means this projector is great for gamers too. If you're after a Full HD projector, this is one to look out for. Connections are mounted under a lip on one side of the projector, a pair of HDMIs, an RS-232 remote port, an IR input, and a USB port. The USB is for service updates only, so you can't play multimedia from USB storage devices through it. It's also a pity there's number 12V trigger output. Some error the lack of a D-sub PC port too, although an increasing number of computers now ship with built-in HDMI ports. The projector system at the heart of the VPL-HW45ES is based on Sony's own SXRD technology. It delivers a Full HD resolution and standard dynamic range images, rather than 4K and HDR, which is entirely as you'd expect of a device costing £1,800. The cheapest projector to offer any 4K and HDR support is JVC's £4,000 X5000, and even that projector doesn't do HDR convincingly. Finally, the VPL-HW45ES's pictures are so accomplished in a relatively naked state that, if you're watching any decent quality HD source, I'd advise turning off all noise reduction and motion processing systems. Halfway of my listed number 3, Optoma UHD60. The UHD60 is a $1,995 4K UHD projector using a single-chip DLP-based light engine. It claims 3000 lumens, has a manual zoom lens, and perhaps most important to mention, it accepts 4K content, including HDR, and like all lamp-based projectors, attempts P3 color, with its richer colors, wider color space, and greater intensity. P3 is superior to the traditional REC 709 standard from HDTV and Blu-ray disc. From a practical standpoint, the ability to fully implement HDR and BT 2020 puts home theater projectors on par in capabilities with your local Cineplex movie theater, but like even cinema projectors, I don't believe anything yet can achieve full BT 2020. Second, and more important, is the choice of color wheels. The one for the UHD60 seems to be designed to maximize brightness with its color wheel, which has red, green, blue, cyan, and yellow filters, while the color wheel in its big brother is designed to maximize color accuracy and richness of those colors by using a color wheel which sticks to primary colors RGB. There are a number of well-known, or at least known, projector manufacturers that use these DLP chips, Optoma being the best-selling brand of DLP projectors in the US, but you should recognize other names, which include Bank, ViewSonic, Vivitek, Panasonic, Acer, and others. Optoma, with their 2 models, the UHD60 and UHD65, have created 2 projectors aimed at slightly different buyers. The UHD-60's $1,995 price is less than the UHD-65, but more significantly, the 3000 lumen UHD-60 is built for less than ideal rooms, while the 2200 lumen UHD-65 is at its best in a dedicated theater environment. For more information and price, check out the product links in description. Coming in at number 2. LG HF65 LA. Most modern projectors only need 4 or 5 feet to cast an image, which is more than enough space for most living rooms. But if you live in a dorm or small studio apartment, you will need to be even more creative with your space. This ultra-short throw projector from LG is here to help. From just 5 inches away, it can cast a 60-inch Full HD image with an astonishing 150,001 contrast ratio. It isn't quite as bright as the other projectors on this list, only 1000 lumens, but it comes with other features that other projectors lack. Besides the amazing short throw range, you get LG's award-winning Webos 3.0 Smart TV functionality, giving you instant connection to the internet and dozens of popular streaming services in an easy-to-use interface. Wireless connectivity and Bluetooth sound out make gaming even easier in a small environment, allowing you to pair speakers or a headset to the sound from the projector. All in all, this projector provides the ultimate gaming experience you can have in small spaces. The HF65 LA's LED light source displays natural and rich colors and will last up to an estimated 30,000 hours. The HF65 LA sets up easily. Just set it on a flat surface a few inches from the wall, connect it to your video source and home audio, dim the lights and press play. No mounting brackets required. Wirelessly screen share content to the HF65 LA using Wi-Fi with an Android or Windows smartphone or a tablet. To watch content from premium content providers. For even more viewing versatility, you can quickly connect the HF65 LA to your game console, Blu-ray player, laptop or other devices using an HDMI cable. And number 1. Optoma GT1080 HDR. We, as consumer electronics reviewers, tend to focus on the buzziest buzzwords when it comes to new product reviews. It's what's sexy. At least, as sexy as inanimate electrical equipment can get. But an 8K 240Hz Dolby Vision projector with 10,000 lumens of light output isn't what many of us need right now. Strike that. Nobody needs it right now. For most home theater gamers, the optimal projector is still one with 1080p resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate, with suitable light output and low input lag. HDR is a bonus, dead-on accurate color is great to have, and 4K is nice, but most gamers are not as concerned with those features. Yes, things will evolve with the release of next-gen consoles, which will offer 4K at 120Hz. To fill my 100-inch Stewart screen, I place the Optoma GT1080 HDR 44 inches away on a shelving unit I specifically set up for short-throw projectors. As with pretty much every projector nowadays, it could also be ceiling-mounted or installed for rear projection. For a proper rectangular image, the lens needs to be about a half foot below the bottom edge of the screen, or above the top, if it's ceiling-mounted. There are 3 feet on the bottom, 2 adjustable for alignment. The focus lever on the top of the projector has good resistance, so you won't quickly push past the right setting for your distance, and there's little chance it will move on its own. When the majority of the image is in focus, the corners can be a bit fuzzy if your lens angle isn't perfectly perpendicular to the screen, but at a reasonable viewing distance the image looks fine. Ventilation enters through the projector's left side and exits through the front and right, so you'll need to make sure those areas have plenty of room to breathe. I have included these product link in the description. You can check out this link for more information and latest price. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe.